Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel for We Talk Mental Health. My name is Karen, and today we're going to talk about the word I think I hate most in the English dictionary. And that word, as you can probably tell by the title of the video, is stigma. And stigma is defined as a mark of disgrace associated with a particular circumstance, quality, or person. And this word is talked about a lot in relation to mental health and mental illness because mental health and mental illness are thought of as very negative things. There's a very negative connotation within our society that is then internalized individually within everybody who kind of battles it. It casts all of these really unrealistic, untrue ideas around mental health and mental illness. So, because society, and I think a lot of this is in part because of the media, portrays people who battle a mental illness as crazy or dangerous or lazy or incapable of functioning and being a functioning member of society. Because those ideas are put out there, that's what people believe. And none of those things are true. I've worked as a clinician for a lot of years now, and I can tell you wholeheartedly, firsthand, that those ideas are so harmful to people because of how untrue they are. Those ideas and the way that society portrays mental health and mental illness makes people internalize the stigma so that they begin to feel ashamed or fearful of coming out and openly talking about what it is that they're going through. That internalization of our emotions and our feelings and our thoughts and our ideas about, our depression or our anxieties can lead to more severe symptoms and can elevate the risk of suicide. And I believe that is why the rates of suicide in the United States as well as worldwide are so high, is because there are a lot of barriers that prevent people from getting treatment for mental illness when they need it. But the biggest one is the stigma and the idea that if you come out and you openly admit to yourself or to your family or to your friends that you're battling something and you're really struggling, that you're going to be shamed or that you're going to be discriminated against or that it's going to negatively impact your career or your relationships or your reputation. And that's why we're all so shocked when these celebrities, end their lives by suicide. Because, on the outside, they appear to be one way, and we don't see them really struggling because they're not letting people know that they are. We talk about stigma as a barrier a lot, and I think that it's one of the biggest conversations that we have as mental health advocates, and the reason why people don't get help when they really need it. But there are a lot of other really stigmatized ideas when we talk about mental health and mental illness, such as people can't get better, such as people not being sick enough or their battles not being valid enough to openly talk about because somebody else might be battling something that's way more severe than what you are. Or that, people battling a mental illness can't have good days. They can't have days where, they're able to kick ass and take on the world. And they're just supposed to have days where they can't get out of bed because that's what we believe as a society that mental illness looks like. So if you're able to function and you're able to do things and be a productive member of society, you're not really depressed. You're not really battling an anxiety disorder. You're just making excuses or looking for attention. And those ideas are so harmful and so stigmatized and so untruthful when we are trying to talk about mental health and mental illness. And it's gotten to a point where the stigma, in my opinion, is the biggest barrier that people face when we're open and communicating about the internalized battles that we have. So that's why I wanted to start this channel, and that's why I wanted to talk about the stigma, was because I wanted to do what I can to educate and to advocate for these ideas that, you know, people who battle a mental illness are still incredibly successful people, and they're brave, and they're strong, and they're more courageous than I can even put into words. Because to be open about something that people have such a negative view on, and to be open about something that people still don't take seriously, is incredibly, incredibly brave. Will it ever go away? I really hope so. I really hope that one day it's not viewed so negatively, and, you know, we take mental health way more seriously, and we stop treating people who battle mental illness differently than we treat a person who doesn't. I really hope that one day we get to a point where those things, you know, are talked about in the past tense, and that we can move forward. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, and that's why I started this channel, and that's why I started We Talk Mental Health, so that I can do my part in trying to advocate and to combat the stigma. There is hope, despite what society wants you to believe. You're not crazy. You're not dangerous. You're not lazy. You're not rude. You're not incapable of being a productive member of society. You're not any of those things. You're amazing, and you're brave, and you're strong, and you're incredibly powerful. Because your story will change somebody's life. Your story will help somebody feel a little bit more accepted. And that acceptance is a very combative idea to stigma. So the more that we work and advocate and talk about it, the less that it's going to be a thing. So the next time you're faced with somebody who isn't on the same page as you, whether it's a friend or a family member or some random person on the internet, and they come at you with some stigmatized ideas of what they believe mental health and mental illness is, just hit them with the facts. Hit them with the education. It's out there. It's at your fingertips. Point them in my direction. I have no problem being that person. You know, I spend every single day putting information and educational resources out there for you guys, so that we can educate those people who believe what society wants them to believe about mental illness. Send them to this channel. Let's have a conversation, because I'm here, and this is my job, and this is what I'm passionate about, and I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop until mental health and mental illness are not seen as negative. I feel like I'm rambling. I'm going to cut it off for today. I will be back next week with a brand new video. I don't know what the topic's going to be yet, so if you have any ideas or any recommendations, drop them in the comments. Please be sure to subscribe so that you know when I put up new videos. Please check us out on Twitter and Instagram. But I love you all, and you're incredible, and I thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and I will see you next week.